Hi, I'm a designer on Dead Space 2, and today we're going to look at the school. It's one of the more unique and frightening levels in Dead Space 2 for obvious reasons. And as we move through here, you get to see a new enemy that we introduced. If you look closely over here, you can see a small tease of something scurrying across there. That is our new crawler enemy. And basically the crawler is an infected baby that will basically explode if you get to it. As we move closer in here, we actually can see the crawler at work. We see a poor woman who's suffering from dementia, and she happens to think that the crawler is her baby. And when he gets a little too close, well, tragedy ensues, as you can see. So that's a really powerful way that we kind of teach the player that you do not want to get close to these things, because these things will definitely give you a bad day. So as we continue to move through the school, we come to some classrooms here. We see a bunch of bassinets to kind of foreshadow that you might be, oh, here we go, having to deal with some enemies soon. One interesting thing about these enemies is if you're a good enough shot and you take out the head, then you can actually just TK up the body and launch it as a grenade, which is a cool little tactic if you happen to be low on ammunition. As we move forward here, we come to this room and we see that the crawlers are all over the wall. We really wanted to kind of like capture that moment of these things being really frightening and really kind of like insect-like vermin. They were once really cute little babies, and now they're just these frightening abominations. You'll notice in this area I'm using the pulse rifle. That's because their enemies are more frequent, but they're also easier to kill. So going in with a nice rapid fire kind of weapon is very useful in here. It's more about making your shots count than having a few really big ones. Here we have a nice little dementia moment. You can see the lockers opening and blood kind of stumbling out. Isaac is still very much suffering from dementia during this moment. We see something else darting away in the shadows. We're actually going to be fighting that later once we get inside the cafeteria here. So this is an interesting area. The cafeteria, it's actually half cafeteria but also half stage, as you can see right here. Since everybody grew up on the sprawl, the same building, or room rather, will be used for multiple different purposes. So here we see a couple pack trying to jump towards Isaac. Here we've got a puker, a super puker rather. These are very dangerous enemies. As you can see, they take a lot of punishment. So there, we finally finished that one off. To get out of this room, you have to withdraw this reinforced curtain over here. And to do that, what we need to do is adjust the mechanisms on the back of this stage so that we can get to the next area. This is probably one of our favorite little moments. We almost cut this sun right here, but during focus tests, it was actually one of the more frightening moments of the game with this really smiling sun, so we decided it would be fun to keep. Coming up ahead, once we solve this hacking minigame, we're going to get a very, very large fight coming up. One of the more difficult fights in the game. What we wanted to do is kind of convey a whole kind of hold out the Alamo kind of feel. You see Isaac, he's on this stage and he knows that something is coming. In a little bit, he's about to be just mobbed by a large series of enemies here. As you can see, they go down pretty fast, so as long as you're quick with your shots, you should be okay. Got a couple of crawlers here, so if you can take them out on the sides, you can do that. Now here, this is very important. We've got an infector here. As you might know, infectors, they have the ability to infect corpses and create more enemies. If you do this combat sequence, try to make sure to take out the infector as fast as you can. These bad boys, they're getting a little close to me right now. All right. And it looks like Isaac is on the home stretch. So that's a little bit about the school. I hope you enjoyed it, some tactics for getting through it, and ways to deal with the enemies. Thanks for listening.